Plaintiff Daniel Aldaco Valencia knows the defendant because she dated Daniel's cousin. Daniel claims after an altercation with his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, his car was damaged and he was forced to rent a car. However, he was later sent to jail, and the defendant agreed to return the car for him, but she never did. So he's suing for the rental car fees. Defendant Victoria Romero says her ex, who's Daniel's cousin, is an active gang member, and she suspects Daniel is as well. Victoria insists Daniel's friend is the one who promised to return the car, and she doesn't think Daniel would be suing her today if she was still dating his cousin.
Tell me what happened.
I know Victoria for like about 2 years. Obviously, she was dating my cousin. On the date of June 22nd of 2008, I was with my cousin, with her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, and my friend. And my girlfriend gave me a call saying that her ex-boyfriend was at her job harassing her. He was outside waiting for her in the bushes and just, scaring her. So I was like in a panic. So I was fearing for her safety. So I get there, I see him, we exchange words, and me and her ex-boyfriend, we run after him. He gets into his car, he drives around the parking lot, and my other friend gets into my car and gets in front of his car, and he runs into my car, and he sped off. So her manager comes out and tells me, you know what, we're gonna call the cops. If the cops ask any questions, we'll have your back, saying that he was out there all day harassing her. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But first, we're gonna go back to her house because he's been known to show up and hit on her windows and stuff like that. So we went back to her house, everything was okay. We come back to the scene and the cops were already there. So me, my cousin, and my friend get off and we go talk to the cops, and they put us on handcuffs. It turned out that her ex-boyfriend had called the cops already and pressed charges on us, saying that we assaulted them. So they arrested my cousin and my friend because they're already on probation, and they let me go. They had to tow my car for evidence for like 4 to 5 days. So I needed a rental for work. And that car was due on the 29th. It was a Monday of
when did you pick it up?
The 23rd. It was the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got my car, and like a couple of days into that week, she called me and told me, you know what, your cousin and your friends are having court soon. So we show up on the 29th for court for support, me, my girlfriend, and another friend of mine, and Victoria as well. And it turns out I talked to their public defender, and it turns out that I had a warrant out for my arrest because I didn't show up for another court date. And I thought that was ridiculous because I never got a letter. So I turned myself in. I didn't want to run from the law or anything. So I gave my girlfriend my rental keys, my house keys, and my wallet. And they got to talking about how to get the rental because I was already in handcuffs and locked up. So they got to talking about the rental. So she volunteered to take the car back. A couple of days after that, my girlfriend had called her and asked her, did you take the car back? And she said, no, I'm driving it right now because my car's giving me problems and this and that. So she started, my girlfriend's like, you know what, you need to take that back because it's being charged to his car.
How long did she keep it after that?
I'm not sure, sir, but I think it was for a week and a half.
And you were going to turn it in on the 29th?
Yes, sir.
So beyond the 29th is what you're suing her for?
Yes, sir.
The dates beyond the 29th,
beyond
you
the
have
29th.
any evidence there?
Yes, sir, I got them.
Let me allow her to give some background first, ma'am.
Well, Your Honor, let me just go on by saying that on June 22nd, 2008, Daniel called my ex-boyfriend at the time saying that his girlfriend was being harassed by her ex-boyfriend. My ex-boyfriend said he had a crowbar. That's one thing Daniel forgot to say, is that they had a crowbar. They had a weapon because the charges were assault with a deadly weapon. So where does an unemployed guy, my ex, get access to weapons like that? Illegal things like guns, knives, brass knuckles. My ex is an active gang member down in Santa Ana. I looked it up. I do volunteer with the probation department, and I went and I asked, and he is an active gang member down there. And Your Honor, honestly, if you walk like a duck, you look like a duck, you must be a duck. And Daniel obviously hangs out with his cousin, an active gang member. So what gives you the impression that he might not be an active gang member?
Hangs out with him how?
They hang out. They probably go and smoke marijuana.
No, you need to tell me exactly what they do since you are concluding.
They smoke marijuana. Okay. Daniel's been high in my presence many times. Okay. So has my ex. I've seen them doing things. I've seen pictures that my ex has shown me of them, with just drugs. I've been in houses. I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. So they smoke marijuana
Yeah,
together.
they smoke marijuana.
And you think that by virtue of that, he is a gangbanger also?
No, Your Honor, but like I said, I do work with the system down there. And, you know, I asked what is the difference between a crew, a clique, and a gang. And they all said if they have certain criteria things, they are still considered a gang no matter what they call themselves.
And he meets that criteria?
Yes, sir.
What is that criteria?
That criteria is if they have guns, they have colors, they have a name and a street
You've
that they
seen
hang
him
out
with
with.
guns, colors, in the name of the street?
He's hanged out with them a lot, sir.
No, I'm saying, did he meet the criteria?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
He does.
he has guns.
His cousin has access.
No, not his cousin, him.
Him, not that I know of, sir.
Okay, does he wear colors?
Not that I've seen,
Okay,
sir.
well, he doesn't meet the criteria.
No, but I'm saying like certain people.
How long did it take you to find out that your boyfriend was a gangbanger?
I knew for a while, sir. And at that time I was
You knew
young.
he was a gangbanger. So does that make you a gangbanger?
No, sir.
Now, yes, you just said if you hang out with one, you're doing
That's
it.
why I left
Well,
him, Your
then.
Honor.
No, you said you knew for months. So you hung
Yes,
out, you
sir.
was a gangbanger for months. How many months were you a gangbanger?
Probably like 3 months.
All right, have you changed your life around?
Yes, sir, I have.
Glad to hear that. Now let's get to this car. Go ahead, ma'am.
What I would like to say is I don't think he'd be suing me if I was still with his cousin, first of all. Second of all, if his friend crashed his car, why is he not suing his friend as well?
All right.
And his
Go ahead.
friend's brother said, you know, that he was going to take the car because we all gathered up at the end of the court.
Who actually took the car?
I took his girlfriend home in the car, took it back to my place.
For how long?
From what I can think of, 3 days. And the time that I used it was to go put gas in it because the company said that you take the car with whatever amount of gas, you need to have that amount of
How
gas.
many times?
I used that one time
Okay,
to put gas in it,
just
of
to go and
course.
get
Yeah,
gas.
I filled it up.
Why
and
didn't you drop it off at that point?
I didn't want to go on to explain how the car got in my possession. Why did I have it? Because at this point, they're going to think that I must have stolen the car from him or something. And I didn't want to have to go through that. So the next day, you know, for 3 days, I called his friend. Hey, pick up the car. What's going on? He never gave me a call back. So by the third day, you know, I decided to call the company and I told them and they made this big old deal at my house. They were just questioning and I didn't want to have to
And so
answer
they
all their
picked up the
questions.
car?
Yeah, they picked up the car. They had AAA
All
come and
right,
get it.
sir. What do you
took it
say
back.
about that? She says she called the company. Why would she call the company to come get it if she was trying to use it?
I'm not sure, sir, but you know, she had the choice to call my girlfriend. They talked because I
Come
was
on up,
already.
young lady. State your name.
Catherine.
What do you
Mercado.
say happened when you all were all gathered around the court? What happened? By the way, why didn't you ask your girlfriend to keep it?
Because she don't have a license, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, so he was already locked up. It was me, Victoria Efron, which is his friend. I needed a ride home. Vicky said she would take me home in the rental car and that she was going to return it. And I spoke to Efron like a couple days later, has Vicky returned the car. He said he drove past her house. He still saw it to call Vicky. So I called Vicky. She said she hadn't returned it.
Did she tell you why?
First she said her car was messing up, so she wanted to drive that around. And it wasn't for 3 days because I called her like maybe 4 or 5 days later. And what she had told me was that the Hertz people came to take the car up.
Were you having problems with your car?
Yeah, but I have another car, which is my mom's minivan.
Gotcha. And ma'am, why did you wait to call the rental car
Because, like I said,
company?
I didn't want to have to go and deal explaining myself.
No, call them just like you did later.
Because I was waiting for the friend to pick it up like he said he was.
Why'd you wait so many days?
I don't know, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm going to believe his testimony, and he has provided some evidence along with circumstantial evidence, which I'm hearing and I'm believing, and he has a witness that says the same. Your story doesn't convince me at all that you would take a rental car, set it in front of your house, waiting on someone to get it. You say the reason you didn't call the rental car company at first because you didn't want to go through some mess. Yet, 4 days later, you didn't mind going through that mess. I'm not convinced that you weren't using this car. Therefore, I'm going to grant the judgment, ma'am. I believe him and I believe his witness and I believe the evidence. $1,022 is your judgment. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.